What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch Lunsford.
And I'm Dustin Carpenter, and you're tuned in to the Fatman Podcast.
Today we have a very special guest. Not only a special guest, but our first guest. We're really excited to have her
numero
on.
uno, thank you.
Yeah, and but she's lost 167 pounds, all natural, and just being a badass. And she's now a trainer, and we're really excited to help share her story. And so everybody give a warm welcome to Kalyn Worland.
Give her a round of applause.
Kalyn?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's nice of you.
How are you doing today?
Well, I just got done working, so I'm very sweaty. I'm glad you can't smell me across the screen.
Hey,
Ditto, and I haven't been to the gym today. So.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to this big guy right here.
So for those in the people watching this that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, this whole thing started because I felt like I needed to accomplish something in life, and I needed it to be hard. I was in a bad place mentally, and I decided that I needed to give myself a challenge. And so I started working out, and then my dad's a marathon runner. And so I went running with him, and I hated it so much. Every step I hated so much, and I hated it so much that no matter the distance that I went, I was proud of myself. And then I finished a half marathon, and I felt invincible, absolutely invincible. And now I just find different things to train for. I have to have a goal. I've learned that I have to have an end goal. I have to train for something. So I'm in the middle of marathon training, but through the way, I've found different fitness stuff that I've loved, and bungee is definitely one of them. I love it, and I love the strength training. I love lifting with you guys. I do look forward to it. You guys whoop
we
my
enjoy
ass,
having you in there in the gym from time to time. It's nice to toss it up a different notch and have a third wheel out there.
Yeah, that first
no
not
joke.
to say that you're a third wheel, but
you guys are no joke though.
That first day that you worked out with us, like we thought we were working out pretty good, and then I turned and looked, I was like, she's fucking running to the next. She has more energy than we do.
And she worked out prior to that.
Yeah. Every time she's came and worked out with us, she's ran like 38 miles before we started.
She's got the stamina of a freaking toddler.
Yeah. But like,
not
I'm like
38.
That running shit is not for me.
It's
I do it 'cause
horrible.
the army makes me.
If you ever see me running,
like
it's because somebody stole my food or somebody's chasing me trying to kill me. One of the two.
Your cape the size of a Pomeranian.
Yes. Kalyn and I were speaking before the podcast started, and I was telling her that before this, just so y'all are aware, that I had a giant piece of cake prior to the podcast, and it was about the size of a small Pomeranian. So it was good, though. It was homemade vanilla cake.
I bet it was delicious.
I made it like 3 or 4 days ago, homemade, scratch, and I made some icing, and it didn't turn out too well, so I had to do the store-bought icing because I'm not very good at making icing. Apparently.
It sounds good.
Now I have a question for you. So in the beginning, whenever you first got into your weight loss journey, what was your very first step? What was your introduction to fitness? Like, where did you start?
Well, I thought that I had to do this with someone else. I thought that I couldn't hold myself accountable if I didn't do it with someone else, but I didn't really have anybody that was on the same journey as me right away. And so I went to the group classes at the Y. I'm talking Zumba and Beachbody and anything that I probably looked absolutely ridiculous in. I would leave sweating because I was just so out of shape. And I thought that if I had other people around me, I would be able to not look as stupid, I guess. But then I realized while I was doing this that I'm actually stronger by myself. When it comes to certain things, I love working out with other people, but I had to learn how to do it by myself first.
Everybody starts on their own level. I know.
Yeah. I had to learn how to hold myself accountable, like not other people holding me accountable too. I had to learn how to do it myself. And so
I have to have an accountability partner.
That's our hardest part. That's why, because we're like, whenever it comes to fitness, like I'll be honest, we're still working on our integrity levels and so having somebody there for us, like it. I wouldn't have still be in the
Yeah.
gym if it wasn't for him.
And it did
but-
help me. I mean, it helped me going to the other classes just because I not really made friends, I guess, but I noticed the same people every week. So I would
Yeah.
look forward to seeing the same
Mhm.
people, and I would look forward to trying do, the different dance moves. Now I'm not dancey in any way. But those classes, they're a lot of cardio, and they were working. And then I started walking outside, and then I really enjoyed the me time. I liked the alone time that it gave me to be
Now,
outside.
do you prefer to work out in the morning or do you prefer to work out in the evening? What I know you work out all day long because you train and you like,
She
do
works out
both
both
right
from
now,
sunrise to
but-
sunset.
No. I do work out in the morning and the evening right now, but I'm an evening night runner. You will see me with a headlamp on outside in the middle of the night. I like the evening time, but
Is there
most
any-
of
is
the
there any
races
particular
are in
reason
the
why?
mornings. Because I'm already up. I don't like mornings. So when I have to run in the mornings, I'm pretty grumpy. But most of the races
You're not
are
a
in the
morning person
morning.
at all. Then
So no, but most of the races start in the morning. So usually a month before any race that I do, I'll get up and start running in the morning because it makes a difference between morning running and evening running. I'm better at running in the morning because I have more energy, but I'm an evening runner because I don't like the mornings.
right. See, 10 years ago when I used to run avidly, I wouldn't say I ran a whole lot, but it was like every other day. It was like 3 to 5 miles a day. I would always run in the evenings, and mostly because that was the only time I had to run. But I felt like I had more stamina and more energy in the evenings, especially
Yeah.
after a hard day's work. Come home, and it was just nice to come home from a hard day's work, be kind of tired, and then just get a run out to finish out the day, and then shower and relax for the rest of the night.
And
I feel
for
like I'm
me-
already up, like in the evening. Like I've already been
Right.
up for the day, so I might as well keep going. But the morning, I'm like, oh, damn.
See, for me, working out in the evenings, it's like a good stress reliever. It's a good way to just end my day
Right.
and then die whenever I get
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
you guys are no joke though, too. Like you guys work out hard, like really
Sometimes.
hard. So no, every workout I've done, I've definitely been
should-
sore.
I will say you should have came to yesterday's workout because it was not.
Yesterday's workout was like taking a nap.
Well, you know how usually whenever you've came, I pretty much am usually pretty high energy when we're there. I was not yesterday. Yesterday I was just feeling rough. I didn't even go to the gym today because I was feeling rough again, and
He had the bloodhound energy yesterday.
Did
Oh,
he have
man.
pizza again?
No, I had Mexican.
Oh no.
What was his name?
Yeah, his name was Pablo. He said I was pretty. I couldn't know.
So speaking of food, break down a little bit for us how your diet's been. Well, he said that you've lost 167 pounds.
Which is
How-
incredible. Congratulations!
Yes,
on that, by the
congratulations.
way.
That's
Thank
freaking
you.
amazing.
Fucking awesome.
I could never accomplish something like that.
I've gotten down to
regardless.
155, and
That's
I did
even
not.
better.
I didn't. I liked the 155 because I could run faster, but I didn't like how much muscle I was losing. So right now
Right.
I'm sitting at 165, 167 ish, and I like where my body is now. I feel like I'm putting on muscle. But when I first started, I changed the tiniest little things. Instead of potatoes and rice and noodles, I would replace it with some kind of vegetable. And then it started into, I'll just eat meat and veggies. And then I realized I can't run without any carbs.
Right.
And so it's been kind of like a back and forth. I feel like I've got it down pat now, but I'm definitely taking in a lot more food than what I used to because I thought that's what I had to do to sustain my weight. And that's not the truth at all.
So
So-
do you do more of a balanced diet than one of the fad diets?
I'm
much?
very strict. I've learned that I have to be. I did a lot of keto in the beginning, and I still do a little bit of that, but I do a lot of meat. Like a
So
lot of meat and veggies.
take us through like 1 week's worth of your diet. What does that consist of?
Well, this past week has been a little wild. I tried a little something different because I want to up my protein.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taken in 160 grams of protein a day.
Awesome. What is your go-to protein source?
Chicken.
Right on, right on. That's mine. I love
There's a
chicken.
lot of chicken.
Yes.
I do a lot.
I'm not a big chicken fan.
Not to rabbit trail, but do you do protein shakes or anything like that? Supplement protein? Do you? Okay.
Yep. And I do the I do a big protein shake in the morning, and I do one as like a snack, but then I do the clear like juice protein too. I love that.
My wife does that. She has I forget
so
what brand
good.
it is, but it's like shaved lemon ice flavored.
Oh, it's so
Dude,
good. Yeah.
amazing.
It's just a little like boost of 30 grams of protein with like 80 calories. That's amazing. I love that.
She
But
let me
I've
try
taken
some
in
the
a
other day,
lot
and it
of
was
protein recently, but I'm also not necessarily worried about my weight. I want to build muscle at this point.
awesome. Right.
So, but I have learned I have to fuel correctly. I was
That's where
not
that
fueling
protein comes into play.
correctly for a long time because I thought that I had to not eat to gain, like, to move forward, to keep losing
Right.
weight. And
Yeah.
I've learned that
And
that's not healthy.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are under that misconception that in order to lose weight, you have to eat less.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Not true
In
at
order to
all.
lose weight, you can either eat the same or even more if you want to, as long as you're eating the proper foods.
When we first started at the gym, that was one thing that like I found out very quickly. So my prior experience to fitness was, I was a gymnast for 12 years. So in my early years, so very cardio centric, and then the Army, which is very cardio centric. And so, but prior to working out there, doing any of that workouts, I wouldn't eat very much because it would upset my stomach.
Yeah.
Now we lift weights, and I found out if I don't eat, it will make me sick. Like we've had we've had a couple days where I didn't eat before. Oh man, I just be sick as a dog. And so sometimes, I'm not saying this is the right thing, but sometimes if I know that I didn't get enough calories in the day, like I'll grab a quick fatty cake right before I go to the gym, which seems like it's counterintuitive, but I know that I'm going to burn off those calories pretty quick, and I just need that boost of energy. But switching how we think about losing weight, what we think we know about food, was a hard thing for me.
Yep,
it's hard too
definitely
because you don't know. And you don't know what's gonna work for you until you do it. So it's like everybody can talk about all these different diets, but like it comes down to what's gonna work for you like later on too.
That's one thing that one thing we always say is fitness and weight loss, whatever your goals are, it looks different for everybody. It's not a one size fits all. And it's
frustrating.
Oh, it is, especially
it's frustrating.
You'll see these guys that it seems like which perception is people's reality, but you'll see these people that you're like, it just seems like it just works so easy for them, and then you're over here grinding, and like you don't notice any difference on yourself. It can definitely get frustrating. They're just like, well, just do this, just do that, and you're like, I fucking did that, and it didn't work.
Right.
Yeah, one thing I've learned is you just got to keep trying things until you figure out what does work, and then when you find something that works, you got to make that piece of information your bitch, basically, and just grind on it until you whittle it down to a perfect recipe. And then
I was so worried about like gaining weight at the last three weeks that I have worked out extra or worked out with you guys. I've gained 6 pounds, and it's not because of what I've ate. I know it's muscle, but it messes with my noggin. So when whenever I took in the extra protein, it was like nerve wracking for me. I was like, oh my God, I have to eat more. But I've learned that if I don't, I won't gain any muscle. I just won't.
When I first started going to the gym, I was the same way. I was like, I'm going to go to the gym and start losing weight.
Yeah.
And I was working out for like 6 months, and the scale never moved. And I was like, my clothes are fitting different, but the scale's not moving. Something's not adding up. And then I realized, I'm gaining just a little bit of muscle here. That's the problem.
So whenever I started going,
it wasn't a problem. But,
whenever I started going to the gym with him, so I had already lost a little bit of weight. So I wasn't the 235 when we started going. I was about 215 or so. And then I got down to 200, then down to 193. And that sticks in my head. But I remember I kept staying right there at the 193, 195 range, and I would weigh myself like every fucking day. Like I was almost obsessed with it. And he was
Big
like,
no-no.
he was like, dude, you got to stop. You need to start taping yourself. Like measure your arm diameter, measure your waist,
Your
like
chest.
And so
all
like
of it.
now, like on occasion, like if I'm gearing up for like a body comp for the military, I'll step on the scale, kind of give me a good range of where I'm at, so I know what I need to be. But I try to avoid the scale at all costs because it's not a good representation, especially now that we're putting on muscle. Now that you're putting on muscle, it's not a good representation of like progress. Progress shows up so many different ways than just that fucking scale.
Amen.
And I had like a goal weight in the beginning, you know, and I've finally hit that, and I feel incredible that I hit that. But the amount of muscle that I've gained, I like that more. Yeah, it's not really about my weight anymore. I just want to,
Yeah.
I want to look like I can kick ass.
I get that.
I do, but the number still messes with my head, you know?
She said, I don't know if you've seen I'll have to, they'll be, here's the pictures of her before and after right here.
Oh,
Put it up on
man.
screen.
Those are hard to look at. Those are tough. They were
Those-
hard to
but-
set.
They might be hard to, I don't know. I can't, when people say they're hard to look at, I feel like that's the wrong word to use, because I feel like you should have a sense of accomplishment when you look at them.
I know.
You look at them.
Hard.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are hard on themselves, including myself. But when I hear people say, you know, all those old pictures of me, whether, you know, when they're either overweight or skinnier than what they used to be and stuff, whatever the case may be, they say those are hard to look at. That kind of that bothers me a little bit, I guess you could say, because you should look at those and think, you know, how far you've come and have a sense of accomplishment and enlightenment into what you've done for yourself.
Well, I will say this, that like, you know, it's one thing you tell me you've lost 167 pounds. It's another thing being able to see the side by sides of what you looked like before and what you look like now. Like, it's like, wow, like it is so dramatic of a difference that, like, you know, you should be very proud.
You don't look like the same person. I'll give you that.
No, you don't at all.
Like, I hear that a lot, but honestly, this year is about working on my mental, because I obviously can tell my energy wise, and I can obviously tell by some of my looks and my clothes that I went from a 3X to I wear a medium. So I know that I look different, but in my head, I don't see it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like other
it's
people
because you
me
see yourself every day.
Yeah,
we were talking about it the other day.
It's like I don't believe it.
We were talking about it the other day on the phone, and about how like you still like, because I struggle with that too. I still feel like Fat Mitch, you know, and so like you have moments where you're like, okay, I can tell a difference, and like I have my days where like I notice things like we were at the gym the other day, and I was like, I can see my fucking traps. I've not seen my traps before.
Oh, you were so excited.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
I was like, look at those.
He like stopped mid workout and was like, look at my traps.
Yeah, and so like you have those moments, and then you have those other days that you're just like,
you just beat yourself up all day.
I'm still the fat piece of shit that I was before, and I know that that's not a good way to talk. That's how I talk, but like I beat myself up like that, and so I get it. It's hard. It's hard whenever you're still the same person. You just in a different
I have a lot of loose skin. Like, this is not, you know, like I feel like people look at like my body now, and I have people that tell me that I look strong, and that is like the biggest compliment in the world to me. But like, I still have a lot of loose skin. I'm probably always going to have it. It's always going to be there. It's just what it is. I think I'm always going to look at myself as the same person in the before pictures. But I'm hoping this year's about my mental. So I've been putting myself in uncomfortable situations. This sounds crazy, but it's working. I had a friend tell me that I need to take off my shirt and I need to work out in a sports bra so that I can see my stomach, I can see my thighs, I can see my sides, I can see it all. And it's working. It is working.
Maybe I should try that.
I feel better about my body, but it's just my noggin.
Well,
I need to work on my mental.
For what it's worth, me and him do the same thing. We work out in our sports bra.
Maybe I should start wearing a sports bra at the gym so I feel better about myself.
I've never seen either one of you wear a sports bra. So
And maybe we'll get those. Like, have you seen those little spandex things that women are start wearing?
oh my god, can we get
I'm just
matching
gonna start wearing a
ones?
bodysuit.
We'll get max. We'll just get bodysuits.
Yeah,
How
I'm
about
just gonna
that?
wear a bodysuit.
Oh,
For
you guys
It
need
says-
like wrestling.
It says the
singlets.
Fat Man. It says the Fat Man across it.
yeah,
The Fat Man Project.
I like it. I like it.
That's great.
I want one.
So one thing that I had a brain fart. Hold on. Fuck.
Okay, so while he's trying to remember, just a quick question for you, just a little fun question. If you had to pick one food to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, like any food, or like any food?
Something. Okay, keep in mind if you pick cake, you're going to be 600 pounds in 2 years. Or if you, but because I would definitely pick cake. I will deal with this.
Yeah.
I will
like
deal with
cake
that
like
600. Did you just say you don't like cake?
Oh, no.
I don't. So for my birthday, I don't do birthday cake. I do. I'm more of a pie kind of guy. So I have a birthday.
You are
pie.
officially kicked off the Fatman
No.
Podcast.
I'm like
Cake's okay.
cinnamon rolls.
Ooh, I love.
So
love cinnamon
one
rolls.
food. You get one food to eat every meal for the rest of your life. What are you picking?
I don't even know how to answer that. Like I don't even. There's so many. Like there's
Can it
so
be-
many. Honestly, if I had to eat one food forever and never get sick of it, it's gonna be chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
That is my
nice.
way to my heart. Oh
See,
my gosh, I love
Mine
it.
is definitely bacon cheeseburgers and fries.
See, if I
Oh.
could pick any food to eat for the rest of my life, I would die because the food that I would pick is pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
I love pizza, but I can't. My body doesn't.
You
It said,
can't eat
"Fuck
it."
You, man. That's bullshit.
You would have to have a
The
colostomy
fact that
bag.
it's your favorite food too, and you can't
It-
have it is so sad.
That's not even so. Like I've always been like a big milk fan. Can't drink any dairy anymore because God said no. And then
I can't either.
Can't eat pizza.
I couldn't do
anything,
the non-dairy.
anything that has
I can't
anything
do it.
that has tomatoes. Like it's like he was like, you're gonna have the internals of an old man. You can't have anything. That's what God said to me. It's
The
bull crap.
90-year-old innards.
Yeah, I have the innards of a 90-year-old.
Pizza has red sauce and dairy. I don't know how you think that you can eat it.
It's terrible. It's terrible because I love it.
He knows he can't eat it, but he does it anyway. And then
Sometimes
I have to suffer the consequences at the gym.
It's because I lie to myself all the time. I'm like, it won't be. And it probably if I only ate like one slice, I'd be okay. But who eats one slice?
But like, what kind of pizza? Like if
You?
had to
All
pick,
pizza.
like, all pizza?
I'm
I'm eating Maurizio's, 100%. I'm getting a 747.
Amen.
So I got
myself.
Meat lovers.
I have an unpopular opinion about Maurizio's. So I have to clarify something. I loved Mauricio's my whole entire life. Like I loved it. And I talked about it for years. And I moved away for a decade. And every time I would get in the conversation about the best pizza, I was like, Mauricio's is the best. And I would come home and I would always say that I was going to stop and get Mauricio's. And I never did. Well, then about a year ago, so I've moved back here about 2.5 years. I've been back in Brazil. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some fucking Mauricio's.
As
I had
you should.
Mauricio's, and it was okay. It was
What?
okay. But I've had pizza
Mauricio's
from
is
literally.
going to listen to this.
I've had
They're
pizza
gonna
from
send
all
you
over the
greatest-
world.
There goes our sponsor. Thanks.
I've had pizza from all over the world, and I've had some really great pizza. And so, like, it's hard now that I've experienced other kinds of pizzas. It's like they're not bad.
Have you had Levin
Mauricio's, if
pizza?
you're watching this, just
Levin's is
know,
pretty good.
I still love you.
Yeah,
Levin's
Levin's was
is
a
good.
Levin's was a sponsor for the movie that we
Yes.
made, and so we
Sadly
Oh,
enough,
yeah.
I have yet to try Levin's Pizza.
Oh yeah, because he was on the
It's
carnivore.
so good.
When we filmed the Drowning in Echoes, I was on the carnivore diet, so I couldn't have
I've
the
done
pizza that
that.
was there. And everybody in the entire crew and cast were eating pizza in front of me and having cookies and drinking pop. And I'm over there with a whole ass fucking chicken and a bottle of water.
He was sitting in the
I
corner.
had a whole chicken.
He was sitting in the corner eating an entire chicken to himself, and you could see the look in his eyes. He was like, "Fuck you guys." And the thing is
sucked.
I suffered the consequences of that pizza too.
Yeah.
That next day, I was like,
I'm
eating it.
For what it's worth, though. The Levin's pizza looked phenomenal. I didn't get a chance to eat it, unfortunately. And I've been telling my wife that we need to go there because their pizza. I see their ads on Facebook all the time.
like
their pizza looks freaking amazing.
It's
Yes,
good.
Looks
See,
great.
well, we had, because he was like, I was talking to him, and he said, "Well, we have two pizzas. We have the thin crust, and then we have whatever their thick ass pizza is." And he was like, "If you get the thick one, that's it. That's for dinner. That's one that you're gonna go take a nap afterwards." He was like, "If you're gonna eat in the middle of the day, I suggest the thin crust." So we got the thin crust, and it was pretty good. So I've yet to have his.
Just a word of the wise, though: if you eat pizza, you're not napping afterwards.
I'm dying afterwards.
Nope.
I die afterwards. So okay, one thing that specifically on food related, what would you tell somebody that was where you started? And they're trying to get their diet in check, and they're trying to make that first step to the healthier decisions. And whenever it comes to food, what's something that you would say to that person?
I would say give yourself some grace, because it's not easy. It's not easy to change things you're used to. I used to use food as a comfort, and that's hard to change. And you need to make little changes from the beginning. Don't make some drastic, I'm going to go cold turkey, I'm going to eat absolutely strict every single day. That's not realistic. You have to find something that's going to work for you later on too. So if what you're doing right now is already too hard, then you need to start smaller instead of change little things. Don't, cut out a couple carbs. Make little. I meal prep everything. I have to. If I don't have a meal prep done, I'll eat like shit if I do not meal prep something, because in my head I didn't meal prep it, so it's a cheat day. Yep. That's not.
Yep.
And I've learned that I have to schedule my cheat days. I can't say today is a cheat day. I have to, my next cheat day, today's the 21st. So my next cheat day will be in 9 days. Ish. I do it every 3 weeks. I'll have a day where I just
go ham.
It's all free game. Now, if I use it or not, I don't always use it, because I do feel like shit when I eat shit. And I don't it's really hard to eat like shit and then go work out and hope you don't work out like shit. So
now I have a question. Do you do a whole entire cheat day, or do you do just a cheat meal?
It depends.
It depends.
Yeah. It depends. My husband's very good about, we used to do, when I first started, he made it very fun for me. Every 10 pounds, we would call it the next decade. And the next decade, I would get a cheat meal. So if I lost 10 pounds, we would go to dinner, or awesome. He would buy me those chocolate covered strawberry true fruit bags, and I'd eat the whole fucking thing. And then the next 10 pounds, you get to do something else. So then we scheduled for different things. And now it's I can maintain and schedule a cheat day and not go overboard. But whenever I do go overboard, I hate it, because I don't feel well the next day. I feel heavy and I feel sick and I don't feel good. So
one
really, my
cheat
days are a cheat meal. Yeah, my husband is a phenomenal man. I could not ask for a better man in this world. He is my number one fan, and he will make anything possible for me to do.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, and
if you got a spouse,
so
I'm not
supportive.
saying that they have to help you along the way, but just to be supportive.
Oh, he does,
your spouse should definitely be supportive.
It's even just the littlest of support. The littlest is it. He's very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So he does little things to tell me, because I'm very strict on my diet, and sometimes I'm a little too strict, because I'll get upset. Mm-hmm. I'll want to eat that, and I can't, and that's so I have to schedule it now. But he's very good at telling me, you're not going to gain 165 pounds from one meal. Make yourself happy. Or like if I go out with, the girls and we go to dinner, he's like, get something you shouldn't. Get a margarita, have fun, go eat something that's delicious. Don't just eat your chicken. He's very good about reminding me, because in my head, if I eat badly, I'm going to gain it all back in one day. That's how my brain works.
It's almost like it's like PTSD type things from being overweight.
Yeah.
So didn't you tell me the other day you have kids?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have 2.
So how has it affected all this weight loss? How has it affected things as for you being a mom?
Well, my daughter thinks I'm a badass. When I finished the mini, I was proud of myself, but when I crossed the finish line and I see my husband and my daughter come up to me and she's just like tears about how proud she was to watch her mom run this race, that was enough for me. I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. I need to keep doing this because I want to show her. She plays volleyball and she's very good, but I want to show her that you gotta stay healthy. Don't let yourself get in a bad spot and then have to work as hard as I did to get it off. Because it's great to say that I've lost that much weight, right? But then there's like the flip side where it's like, I only lost that much because I let myself go that far.
Right.
Like it's great to say that I've lost that much, but it's also like I let myself go by 165 pounds, like, so it's
but the key is you did something about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I get it. It's
a long
hard,
time.
looking in the past, but don't beat yourself up.
I think it's incredible that people can stay fit their whole life. I think that's.
I think it's bullshit.
It's great. It's incredible because I used food for everything.
Oh yeah, I still am an emotional eater. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm pissed, if I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it, like
it's always there.
And it's part of our culture too, like whenever you would schedule, if you were going away on a vacation, what would you like? It would be revolved around food, or it'd be whatever, And so, food was always been a big part of my life. Now, I do have a question with your weight loss. Have you always struggled with your weight, or did it just happen gradually over time, and before you know it, boom, you're there?
I fluctuated all my life, but I played sports. I was active, but I also have PCOS. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
yes.
It messed with my sugar a lot whenever I started gaining weight and I couldn't figure out why. And then I found out that my hormones were all over the place. My shit was just fucking all over. And so when I started eating correctly, those things started to come back to normal. And then I would, I'd eat better for longer. And then I started working out and now my levels are better than they've ever been. And I don't have any insulin problems. I don't have any sugar problems right now.
Awesome.
And that was, it was all what I was eating. Everything that I was eating was, high in fat and things that were like making my body inflamed. So it wasn't easy to work out. I wasn't fueling myself correctly. So once I learned how to do that, it was, I just kept going because it felt good. It made my body feel good. I didn't feel like I was so sluggish and heavy but it takes time too. Like it took me a long time to figure out what foods I could eat and what I couldn't eat and what made me feel a certain way and what made me run better. So it was kind of trial and error there for a long time.
Yep. Takes time to narrow that kind of stuff down. I kind of like it.
And it doesn't happen right away either.
It takes several weeks.
And this is like 2 years down the road.
Right.
Like when I started this, it was like I had to figure out what worked for me. I would listen to other people, but then like that didn't work. So I had to try something else and I had to try something else. And your weight fluctuates all the time. So
I kind of liken that to like when people have allergies and they have to go to the doctor and they the doctor tells them, okay, try not eating this for a couple of weeks. And then they try that and they're like, all right, no change. And they come back and they're like, all right, well then just try not eating or drinking this for a couple of weeks, and they do that again. It's kind of the same thing, when you're dealing with that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I just had to figure out what felt good in my body. And now I've
Right.
just learned that there's some things that just don't agree with me.
And there's a lot of things that people think that are healthy that they're just not, or even if some things that are healthy that just don't agree with your body. So it takes time to kind of weed those things out and figure out what it is.
Do you want one
And the
thing
advertising doesn't help either. Like social
Right.
media doesn't help any of that at all.
One of the biggest crutches I feel like in the ad industry is granola. Granola is not good for you, but they pass it off as some kind of superfood that's going to make you lose weight, and all this crap. And it's probably one of the worst things you could eat if you're looking to lose weight.
Yeah, it's awful. And some of it's like zero sugar, but it's not zero sugar.
It's packed full of all kinds of
it's
artificial sweeteners
awful.
that make you gain weight. Yeah.
So I have a hot take on that. So like for me, ultimately, like I get artificial sweeteners aren't good for you. I also think being overweight is probably worse.
I eat artificial sugar.
Pick your poison, right? Yeah.
Like for me, like I've heard so many people dying from heart disease for being overweight, but I haven't heard of a single person that's died from like strictly the artificial
Sucralose.
sweeteners. So like as you see, I'm drinking my Ghost energy drink, and
I had Nalani.
like it helps me. It helps me. Like it curbs that sweet tooth that I get. Like it helps. I have used monk fruit, which I think is pretty. Out of all the sweeteners, monk
I
fruit's
use
not
that.
bad.
That's one of the better ones. My wife uses that for her coffee.
But sometimes, like I'll use Splenda. I know that a lot of people aren't a big fan of Splenda, but I use what I have to. It's just a tool. Like that's kind of how I look at it. And I think that one thing that was hard for me, especially at the beginning, and being in the Guard, I have so many people that are in great shape that they're experts on fitness and dieting and all that stuff, and they're like, well, you need to do that because that one's not good for you, or you need to do that. And before you knew it, it was just like almost overwhelming for me. And I came to the realization that first I need to worry about losing the weight, then I can worry about being more healthy about it. And so that's we both, me and him, we've talked about this many times. It's building those stepping stones and just moving a little closer in the right direction. But
and one thing that I've learned also is there's going to be 100 different people that are going to give you advice, and that's just what it is. It's advice. It's not hard set in stone facts that you have to follow. It's advice. You take a little bit of what everybody tells you and you use it and figure out what works for you, and then make your own plan.
Yeah.
Now I have changing the subject real quick. We were talking about how you're a trainer now at Deep Roots, right? That's what it's called. Yep. And so
Them roots go deep.
So you trained bungee, and you were just telling me the other day that you now you do the strength class and all that stuff. So how we said this is your weight loss journey has been like what, 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
So whenever you first started on that journey, did you ever think that you would be where you are now? Not only being a badass in the gym, but also you're helping other people, work on their fitness goals as well. So how did you get involved in that? How did that whole part of it start?
Well, I kind of took bungee as a joke, to be honest. I had a friend that asked me if I wanted to go, and we went, and I loved it. From the minute we started the class, I loved it. And then I started coming more and more. And then I made a comment to one of the instructors. I was like, how fucking cool would it be to work here? Like, you must love your job. Like, we leave here and we feel like we got our ass kicked. And like, this is fun as hell. Like, this is awesome. And then I got a text the next day from the instructor that said, we're hiring. We want you to put in an application. And I kind of thought they were kidding. Like, I was like, I'm going to go to this, and they're going to be like, no, thank you. But then we started doing like bungee strength classes where we use the slam balls, we use the kettlebells and the dumbbells and the resistance bands. And I loved it. I loved it even more. And I started teaching those. And I teach a lot of bungee burn. I teach a lot of that because that's my favorite class. I teach a lot of the intros too. But now we have a strength class outside of the bungees. And as much as I love the bungee, I love the strength class that we have built. It is hard as shit. It is so hard, but it is it'll leave you empowered. You feel awesome
That's
when you
awesome.
leave that class. Yeah.
That's
And
really awesome.
I'm very proud that I've worked so hard to teach that class, because the instructors that we have on Saturday morning, they are kick ass. So I hope I do as well as them, but they are.
Well, for what it's worth,
That class is no
of
joke.
what we've seen on your Facebook page, you do a hell of a job.
And it looks so fun.
It does. It looks so fun.
You invited us out to do it.
That's
And
what I was gonna say.
we're really excited to come out and try it. Not just the bungee, but the strength training out too.
Yeah.
We think it looks like a blast.
So for the viewers watching, one of these days here for too long, you're gonna get to see my 289-pound ass up there on a bungee jumping around like a.
Evan Moore did
princess.
it. He came and had fun. You can do it. It's.
I'm definitely gonna do it. It
I
looks
won't
fun.
say you're gonna be the most comfortable. Okay.
No,
But
I'm sure I won't.
also you're gonna be uncomfortable anyway. So
Right.
Hey, the biggest thing is you got to get
I'm there to
comfortable
have
being
fun.
uncomfortable, right?
I'm there to have fun.
Now I know you guys don't work out on Friday nights, but we do have this strength class on Friday night if you
Okay.
want to come. But it's at 7.
So what does that strength class consist of?
We have kettlebells.
Mm-hmm.
We do the slam balls. Everything is usually like we do it for a minute and then you have like a 45-second rest. Last weekend, we're hoping that each week you improve your reps. So like in the minute of the slam balls, we want to see how many you can get. You lift it all the way over your head and you slam it and you pick it back up. And each week we've improved to see how many. And me and my boss, Natalie, got 32 of them in a minute last
Hell
week.
yeah.
Jeez, that's good.
We were booking. We were dying. But it's cool to see each week you improve. And it's I really like that class. We do a lot of goblet squats. We do a lot of wall sits.
You love goblet
I
squats.
love those. Let me tell you.
Mountain climbers. We do a lot of it.
Every time I put
goblet
every time I put goblet squats in our workout, he always cusses me. He's like, "Fuck."
I
those."
hate them. Oh, I hate them so much,
So-
but they
so-
hurt.
Would it be all right with you guys if when we show up we film an episode up there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be a blast.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it'd be a lot of fun.
Natalie would love that.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, if we could set it up where like all of you guys could be on the podcast if you guys were up for it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Now, mind you, if you come Friday, it's the first one that I'm teaching officially by myself. So please give me some grace. But
Yeah,
you guys are more than welcome to come in whenever. We certainly don't care. Yeah.
perfect.
We have
That's-
people
that
in
sounds
here
like a
all the
blast.
time. Yeah.
So one thing that we're really and we talked to you about this, how we're looking to try out different types of working out, like the bungee and all this stuff. We're actually we got to schedule it, but we were invited to do a rock climbing class over in Indianapolis. And
Oh, how cool!
Sounds so fun and
That
stuff.
sounds so dangerous for
one,
me.
That would be fun.
One of my guys, well, he's not one of my guys, and he's not anymore. He just got promoted, but he invited us because he's been rock climbing for like 4 or 5 years, and
Very
he's like,
cool.
"Dude, come out." I was like, it looks like a blast. But hell, you can come out and join us if you want when we do the rock climbing.
I would love to. I can't guarantee that I'm going to be very good, but
He told me,
I
he was
can
like,
try.
he said, "I'm just gonna let you know, you're probably not gonna be very good at first.
Oh,
I'm
You're
not.
probably gonna fall a
I'm
lot."
not.
But no, he's like we're really excited, and then another guy invited us to do. So he does MMA, so he invited us to do
Cool.
do a grappling class with him,
Cool.
and then
Yeah, I think boxing would be fun to learn.
I want. Have you?
I
Do you know
think
that
that would be cool.
they have the boxing gym there in
Yeah,
in
the
Terre
sweat
Haute?
box.
I want to try that out. I think it'd be a
Yeah,
blast.
I think that would be cool. I think I really like kickboxing classes, so I think that would be cool to go to.
Mhm.
They're very hard, but
Our big
But I
thing is
like
like we do believe that fitness looks different for everybody. We always talk about that, and so like
There's 900 different ways to do fitness.
Yeah.
we're so interested in just trying all different things. We even talked about like taking a yoga class just to. I mean,
yeah,
I'm down to try anything
well-
in the realm of fitness. I mean, it doesn't matter.
One thing that I would love to try, I don't even know if there's one around here, so like I said, I grew up I did gymnastics for 12 and a half years.
That's
I know
impressive.
I don't have the body to do it, but I can still do it. You've seen me do a backflip not that long ago. But,
I can do
You
one
can
too,
still
but
do a
I
backflip.
don't only do one.
So funny thing is, this past summer, so I'm in the guard, and all my Joes were out there, and we were waiting, and one of the Joes was out there, and she did gymnastics, and so she was doing backflips, and Pere, my project manager, he was like, "Hey, Lunsford can do backflips." They were like, "No, he can't," and so I had to show them, and my platoon sergeant was like, "I could make so much money off of you," because nobody would ever guess.
You should hustle people for it.
Oh, I have. I've won a lot of bets over the years. Even at my
I need to
At my-
see this.
at my fattest, I could still do a back handspring. I couldn't do a layup, but I could still
I
do a
got
back
to
handspring.
see this.
But
That's
yeah,
impressive.
But I would love to find like somewhere to film an episode doing gymnastics. I think that
You
would
should
be
go to
a
like
blast.
Tumble Express in Brazil
Yeah.
and see if they'll let you go in there and just screw around.
Oh, I will
think-
pull
You know?
4 hammies trying that shit.
Oh.
I am the least.
could
I
do it
only
too.
met Mitch.
I'm just going to
Please
put this
don't
out
hurt
there.
yourself.
I am the least flexible. You can ask my wife too. I am the least flexible person you will ever meet in your entire life.
That is not what she told me. She
I
said
didn't
you're
mean you
limber as a
throwing backflips.
lumberjack.
I wish. I am so
Just even
non-flexible.
picture Dustin
I
like
can't,
upside
dude, I
down.
can't even. I can't. Oh God.
It's like Wreck-It Ralph doing a backflip. No way. No way.
You called me Wreck-It Ralph the other day.
Yeah, but like
That's
we
'cause now we
also
can see your traps.
determined- Yeah. We also determined that he's taller than you. You know what I mean? We need to find a new name for you because
So
you're not tall enough
was
to
the
be
little-
Wreck-It Ralph.
Who was the
I
little
identify
handyman
as
on Wreck-It
6'3".
Ralph? What was his name?
The who?
The little handyman.
You
with
shut
dual
the
box.
fuck up.
Oh,
You shut the fuck up.
Felix.
Yes, that's Fix It Felix.
Fuck you guys.
That's who you can be. You little Felix.
That's what we're doing for Halloween.
Oh
Fuck
my
you
god, so good.
You know something that's pretty
Pretty accurate. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I like
Yeah,
it. I like it.
you're not tall enough to be Wreck-It Ralph. Not
I'm
yet.
tall in spirit, okay?
He identifies as a 6-foot black
Yeah.
man.
I don't
Yeah.
want to say we have to move the bar because you're too short, but
We've been there though. When we were doing bar squats, remember?
Yeah.
you may have to
Yep.
use like move the bar, but you guys have to move all the weights for me. So
It's whatever.
I feel that's fair.
Everybody's different.
That being said, you did really great every time you came out and worked out with us. Like you're a
I
lot stronger than you
appreciate it,
think that you
but-
are.
I have to
you guys
admit, in
kick
the
ass.
realm of stamina, you definitely showed us up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm doing cardio every day. You guys can outlift me.
I'm
by,
doing
like,
cardio
a
never.
lot. Like
Well, we've
you
been
guys lift
lifting longer than you
heavy.
too.
That's heavy
lo-
though.
Well, he lifts heavy. I lift moderate. He lifts like
I
he
don't know,
pisses me off.
man.
He pisses me off. He'll be like, "I'm just gonna do a warm up," and like I remember one time he said, "I'm just gonna warm up light," and I looked over at it. I was like, "That's my fucking max on deadlift, motherfucker!" Like,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, when
you
we
were
were doing
on
bench?
one last week, Mitch. You were
I-
on one.
He was.
I
He
was not on
He's
one
like,
this
let's
week.
put 4 plates on. How'd that feel, Mitch? How'd you feel the next day?
Well, next time
Oh,
you come with us,
I regretted
I'll
it.
bring my belt and we'll do 6 plates.
no,
I'm not going to because I hurt myself.
I won't be there.
I-
She said I won't be there.
So
won't
like
be
I
there.
did, we were squatting a
won't do
lot
that.
before his hernia, and in my mind I forgot we haven't squatted for like 6
Yeah.
months.
Oh my
and so like
God.
we were squatting more than 4.
We were squatting 8 plates.
Yeah, at one point.
When you
and,
put 4 plates on there, I was like, I'm out.
and so
You
like
know?
so whenever we went to do that, I was like, I can do a lot more than that, and so I put that on there. The next day, my groin hurt so bad, like for like 3 days. I was like, I need to ease
Or no,
myself
it was,
back into
it was 7 plates, not 8. Sorry, 7 plates.
something like that.
It was 7 on each side.
Yeah.
I do
But-
believe in the BCAAs, though. Y'all changed
Yeah,
my
They are a
They-
game
changed
changer.
my you changed
I-
it for me completely.
So I'm not big on like I think he would do more supplements than I do. All I do is BCAAs, and occasionally I do creatine.
Yeah,
But that's
I do creatine, test boost, BCAAs, and pre-workout.
Yeah.
And
I take
from
creatine
time,
every day.
and from time to time, I'll do a nitric oxide.
yeah. I don't do nothing.
I don't do that.
It's mostly because it's not because I'm against it. It's mostly because I forget about them. Like that's really what it is. And half the times, for a while I wasn't even doing BCAAs. I would just drink my Ghost as I go into the gym because I have a Ghost every single day whenever I work out.
Dude, I can't do those when I work out. I love Ghosts. I drink 2 or 3 a day, but it seems like when I drink them at the gym, I just get more thirsty.
Not me.
The sugar in them with the artificial sugars.
They help me because I don't sleep very
They
much.
give me the energy to work out for my workout, but I have to bring water with it.
I usually pound one of these before and then or during and then one afterwards, and I'm good.
I drink it Alani.
I've never had that.
They're all right. I've had
delicious.
just about every energy drink under the sun. I think I've tried them all.
I had a Celsius the other day.
They don't make me feel jittery.
No, Celsius are gross.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't make me feel jittery.
They have
I don't like that feeling.
I think they have a lower caffeine content. Do they not?
They're
Than
only
the Ghost?
200.
Oh, well, they're the same then.
It's 200. It's not. I mean,
Do you have one with an arm's reach? I see you looking.
They're 200.
What's the B12 content on that?
well, I don't fucking know.
It should say
Am
on
I
the back.
supposed to know?
It should say that's not important. I guess never mind.
2.5. 2.5, right? Isn't that what you want to know?
Grams, milligrams, micrograms.
MCG.
Okay, micrograms. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Sure.
2.4.
So there's.
I
there's
just think
more
it
B12.
tastes good.
See, that's honestly that's all I care
They
about.
have some phenomenal
Delicious.
flavors.
So,
They're good. They're like my little treat.
The only reason I don't drink those, well, one because Ghost is far superior to every energy drink on planet Earth,
they're so
but
good.
also
Okay.
because we really would love that sponsor. I'm just saying,
Ghost, if you're watching,
we love
feel
you.
free to sponsor us.
But yes,
We
but-
drink you every day. We put so much of you in my body. Not the can though. Like I just drink it.
Sometimes
Yeah,
whole.
yeah.
But the Alanis, they're just the cans aren't big enough for me. You don't get enough in them. I have to drink like 2 or 3 of them in one sitting to get my fix.
You want to know something?
Wow.
Every
That's a
episode
lot.
every episode we've had a long conversation about Ghost. I just want you to know that.
And
Yeah.
food. Every podcast.
Yeah, we talk
revolves
about
around
food
at some
all the
point.
time. We talk about Ghost all the time.
I mean,
If you-
only the important stuff.
yeah, we only
the
bring
two
up
most
the-
important things when it comes to the gym is Ghost energy drinks and food.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're totally going to
sure.
see this.
They better.
I hope so. But no. So one thing that, as far as everything that has to do with your journey that you've done so far, what is the best advice you can give to somebody? We touched on the food, but just in the working out and driving towards a better and healthier life. What's the best advice you could give somebody that's where you were?
So, a quote that sticks with me that a wise man once told me when I started this, I ran for the first time and I finished a mile and I felt invincible. And I called my dad and he said, and I was kind of bummed about my time. Okay. I was like, man, I really felt like I put more into that, you know? And at that point, I was running like 12, 30-minute miles. So I wasn't running fast, but I felt proud. And he said, do you know what the average time for a woman to complete a marathon is? And I said, no. And he said, average women don't complete marathons. And so
Damn. That's deep.
yeah, and
That's
that
awesome.
stuck with me. That to this day, that stuck with me that I am not average because other people can't do this. And so my advice, to quote Evan Moore, is keep pushing. Keep fucking pushing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Keep pushing.
Stay consistent, find something you like, and just keep going. Just keep going. You won't see it overnight. All the things that you see on the internet are not real. This doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take a long time. And that's okay.
Right.
You'll, in the process, you'll learn things about yourself that you did not know. And it's a journey, but it's possible. You can do it. Just keep pushing.
You made a video the other day, which I made a video right
I
afterwards.
saw it.
So like you made a video talking about how what you see online isn't what real life is
Yes.
and all that stuff. And between that day that I watched it was like you made it the perfect time because I was like I was having a rough morning that day too, and it just I don't know, something about your video just really resonated with me. And
Oh, good.
Between that and then my boy, he looked at me.
Was that the day you had the boo boo on your foot?
Yeah, it was whenever I fucked my foot up and I was just like down on myself. I'm gonna get fat again. I'm not gonna be able to go into the gym. I'm just like pissed off at the world. And no, your video really did resonate with me, and I really appreciated that video. But
I'm glad.
You had talked about how we see this Instagram world, this social media world of everybody is just they blink their eyes and they're just perfect. They have the perfect bodies, the perfect life, everything like that. And so, can you tell me how going into your fitness journey, how that affected you, and breaking down how that's not what real life is?
Well, like I said, I'm still working on my mental because I'm still very mean to myself. I may not say it out loud, but I think it. And that's unhealthy too. That's not good. We should not do that. But I don't know. I don't know. It's they can make a reel and show you what they want you to see. And it's hard to remember that this is not realistic. It's not just a Facebook reel where they're like, I'm overweight, and the next 30 seconds they snap their fingers and they look incredible, and some of it is Photoshop. Some of it they've actually put in the work, but it's taken years, but they don't show that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the whole point of me trying to work out in a sports bra. I want to show people that my body is not, it's not perfect. It's not where I want it. It's not, it looks better than what it did, but I'm not done yet. And
Right.
I want people to see that, like, I have rolls. I have loose skin, flopping around. I don't have these perfect Instagram bodies that these people have, but they didn't have that either. They had to put in the work too. You just didn't see it because they didn't want to show you that side of it. So I'm hoping by me posting videos and showing people that, this is possible, it's just not going to happen overnight. But it messes with your head when people are like, I've lost this much weight in this amount of time. And it's just like the most unrealistic amount of time. It's just, it's so unreal. And they talk about how good they look now, but they didn't talk about how terrible they felt about themselves in the beginning. And I want people to know I'm still mean to myself. I don't wake up in the morning and I'm proud of my body. So it's like that part is the hardest, I think. You can change your eating and be strict, but it's the things around you that'll influence you to make you feel worse. And that's you just gotta not give a fuck, really. You just gotta say fuck it. I'm gonna keep going, and we're gonna do this. You just have to be realistic in your timeline.
One thing one of my buddies that I drove with whenever I first started on trying to be healthier, he was like, Mitch, you got to do, in order to be great, you got to do the thing that most people want. And so, I mean, that at the end of the day, it's all hard work. Nothing's easy. Nothing just, you don't snap your fingers.
There's no substitute for hard work.
We've been,
and some days you don't want to do it. Like, I think I get messages all the time where people are like, how do you want to work out every day? I fucking don't. What do you mean? I've just learned that I have to. I have to do it for me. I need to do it for me. And I mean, to quote you guys, it really stuck with me when you were like, this is a non-negotiable.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like when I was sore as fuck and I came to work out with you, I was like, this is a non-negotiable. Get the fuck up and go.
Like we always say, our number one rule.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Exactly. That's our number one rule.
So we touched on a lot of different things today in this conversation with you, but I feel like one other thing that we really need to spotlight is you and I discussed having somebody in your corner. For you, it's your husband, somebody to back you up. But on the flip side of the coin, when people make progress with themselves, there's still a lot of fucking haters out there. People who are stuck in one position. They're stuck in reverse, and they despise the people who are making changes. What do you say to people who are making a change and just have a hard time dealing with all the haters out there talking shit?
Fuck.
Right there.
That's right. And what do you?
I mean,
because I know I'm sure you've got some, on your Facebook or whatever social media platforms you're on. So
we had our first hater the other day.
Yeah, we had our first hater on the podcast the other day. Somebody commented on there, and he was mad. I laughed about it, and I just let it roll off my shoulders. But
I was like,
some guy commented on there and was talking about me, and he said, "Don't take advice from somebody who's out of shape." And I was like, okay, it didn't bother me at all. But back on the topic, how do you deal with your haters? Because I mean, everybody's got them.
I mean, I've had a couple.
Do you just kind of just kind of ignore them, or do you respond to them, or do you use it as fuel, or what do you do?
I mean, I just remind myself that I've came a long way mentally, and I've came a long way physically. So they just may not be it may not be their time for their wellness journey that they need to be on. And that's okay. It's okay to have people that are going to be like that. You just have to remember that it really doesn't, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't really matter what they say, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're going to put in, I remind myself that at the end of my workout, I'm going to get out of it what I put into it. So if someone else says something to me, it shouldn't affect me. It used to a lot. It used to affect me a lot. And when you do these kind of things, you learn who is in your corner and who's not.
Right.
And that's kind of a big, oh shit, in your head. But at the end of the day, I'm putting in the work for me. So, I mean, let them be that way. You know what I mean?
One thing that I know that I've learned anyway, and is when it comes to success, and success isn't just financial. It's mental or physical or financial. It can be. The more successful you become, the more people are going to hate on you. And it's because 95% of the people who are hating on you is because they're jealous, because you're doing something that they can't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it is what they are,
And for what it's worth, just to let you know, you have two more people in your corner.
Yep. Because you got our support.
You're officially part of the Fatman community. So I mean. So I mean,
well, now it's the fat person community. You got to be all inclusive. It's 2025.
I mean, you guys are fantastic. I don't think you understand how much I have learned from the two of you. I didn't know how to lift, so and I'm very bad at asking for help. So when I reached out to Mitch to lift with you, I thought about it for days. Days before I did it, and I'm glad that I did, because you guys whoop ass.
I will tell you, ass. for me, like, it was actually whenever you came out that first day, and he kind of let me like take the lead on building the workouts here lately. It was kind of made me feel accomplished in the fact that whenever we first started a year and a half ago, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what workouts did what muscles they worked or anything like that. And it really helped show me how far I've came. And so just you coming out, like, I really appreciated that. It kind of gave me
it gave you a chance to sit in the driver's seat.
Yeah. And so I was really
your workouts are incredible. Y'all leave me sore.
Well,
it's definitely a different kind of workout.
We've enjoyed working out with you, and we've enjoyed having you come out. And you have an open invitation. We're there Monday through Thursday. So
you guys definitely make it entertaining.
Oh,
And that goes
with
for
our
everybody
antics?
else that's watching this also. We're here in Brazil, Indiana at the local YMCA every Monday through Thursday, or usually from 7 to 9 p.m. So if you guys want to show up and work out with us, feel free to jump in there.
And then
I
also,
mean, it is not for the weak. Let me warn you, not for the weak. They mean business, but
so
and
if
you guys
if,
are. I mean, you guys are very motivating without being
This
mean
fucking
either.
slave driver right here,
You're
I'm
very
telling you.
supportive. That's helpful. You're not
Fucking slave
mean.
driver.
You're very,
So
yeah. Mitch is no
you want to know
joke.
something? You want to know something funny? So when we first started, like he told me, so I'm the like positive reinforcement type of guy. I'm typically
Good
like by
job.
nature, I'm like, you
Yeah,
got this, buddy. You
great.
can do this. Keep
Mhm.
going. And he was like, I need you to degrade me.
I told him, I said, be aggressive and make me feel like a piece of shit.
And so like at first when we first started, this is how it'd be. I was like, you got this, you son of a bitch. And it'd be very
See,
like
I feel like
he's-
I need
It was-
Mitch
it was
to
a
be
slow
nice, but I
transition.
need Dustin to be mean.
but now I'm like, come on, get this. You don't be a fucking pussy, Bob. And like I keep pushing him like that.
And that's what I need.
Yeah, that's what he wants, which is not in my nature. But I've got I filled into that role. But so closing out the podcast, do you have any final remarks? Anything that you would like to say?
Any words of wisdom.
Also plug your classes too.
Words
and-
of
and-
wisdom.
invite people to come out to the bungee and all that stuff.
Yeah, please do. The bungee's amazing. It's very hard. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but it is fun. It's
And
a
where's
hell of
it-
a good time.
What's the address to the place and the name of it?
It's Deep Roots Fitness and Wellness. It's like right in between the Harley Davidson and Regional Hospital.
They're in
Okay.
Terre Haute, Indiana. What
Yeah.
time are your classes?
Okay. Well, I teach intro to bungee on Monday and Thursday at 7:30 usually. Sometimes it changes. I teach bungee burn on Tuesday. Some Friday nights, but now that's going to be our strength class. And I teach Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and 7:30 and 10 a.m. strength, and then Sunday at 7 a.m.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So there you guys
Yeah.
go if you're interested.
Yeah, check him
Yeah,
out.
I can't wait for you guys to come.
Oh, we can't wait either. So your final words of wisdom to the Fatman community.
Don't be a
That's
bitch.
hard. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is don't be a bitch.
I was waiting on it.
I
I love it.
I don't
Well-
know. It's just keep going. Just keep trying. Find different things. Find somebody to go with you if that's what you need. Just figure it out for yourself. Don't let other people dictate it.
So if anybody is out there watching and you have a fitness story or a weight loss story, or if you're a trainer and you have some great advice that you would like to share with the community for those people that are just trying to get started, that's who this is really about, because we've all been there and we're all still
Yes.
in our journeys. So if you're out there and you would like to share your story, please let us know in the Fatman community group. Reach out to us on the Fatman Project page.
Yeah, your Facebook page is great. That's
Thank you.
a great
Thank you.
place to start.
But yeah, you can find us anywhere on Facebook, YouTube. The full podcasts are on YouTube every Friday at 7 p.m. And then we have the TikTok page, TikTok channel, or whatever the fuck you call TikTok. But we have that. So I mean, feel free to follow us and like our stuff. But no, this has been a really great a really great podcast. Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh my gosh,
coming and
thanks
hanging
for
out
having
with
me
us.
on.
It's
I
been,
appreciate it.
It's been so fun, and we're really excited to share your story, and I think that it will resonate with a lot of people. So thank you for taking the
agree.
time with us. And
I hope.
you're going to come work out with us? When?
I should be there Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll be there.
No excuses then.
I know.
We'll be there too.
Don't eat pizza Thursday, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm not going
No.
to eat anything that will fuck me up. But
Yeah.
well, I'm Mitch Lunsford.
And I'm Dustin Carpenter.
This is the Fatman Podcast. Don't be a
Don't
bitch.
be a bitch. See you guys.
Bye.